Hello, I am Dr. Mohan Rao. Today in this video, I am going to speak about very interesting topic, and that is about unexplained miscarriages, IVF failures and unexplained infertility, and how immune system plays an important role in the causation of these factors, and how we can find out the immunological problem and how we can treat. Also, we'll speak about the HLA role of HLA system, HLA typing and HLA crossmatch in reproductive failures, and how certain investigations are commonly used and how they can guide us, as well as some of the investigations which are not that effective in guiding the treatment. So let's come to the topic of immunology in reproductive failures. Now, all of you know that almost 50% of couples who have miscarriages, the cause is not found and they are called as unexplained. And in majority of these patients, the cause is immunological or allo-immune. Similarly, with IVF failures, and these patients, almost 10% of them undergo recurrent IVF failures, and a significant number of them have unexplained factor, or and most likely that is an immunological or alloimmune factor. We come across this very often. Many patients come to us with this problem. I remember one patient who had 14 miscarriages. She had done all the investigations, everything was normal. She was advised to undergo immunological tests, and she had done HLA typing as one of the tests. Now, she could not understand the report. She tried to see online, searched on Google, but she could not find satisfactory explanation. So finally, they came and asked us, Doctor, you are clinical reproductive immunologist. Can you explain this HLA report because we are confused? Similarly, there was one more patient who had four IVF failures. So she also had undergone a lot of tests. She underwent HLA typing, and she was told that she will require a donor embryo, a young patient with good quality embryos, history of PGTA tested embryos in previous embryo transfers. Still, the pregnancy was not successful. She had could not understand the HLA report, and she had come to us, doctor, as clinical reproductive immunologist. Can you explain? So, before going into the details of this immunological testing, I will just briefly tell about the role of immune system in pregnancy and how problems in that can create either miscarriages or IVF failures. Now you know that pregnancy is 50% from mother and 50% from father. The part which comes from father is totally foreign to mother's body. So the pregnancy is genetically 50% different. Immunologically it is quite different. So logically speaking, there should have been immunological reaction against all pregnancies because they're different from mother's body, but that doesn't happen. Pregnancies, in spite of being different, grow without any problem. Now, why does this happen? Why does immune system not attack the pregnancy as it attacks any foreign body? Here, it is important to understand the concept of self and non-self. Now, immune system has special ability to find out what is self or our own and what is not self, and accordingly it uh, takes action either to accept it or reject it. For example, in case of cancer, now when cancer develops, it is our own cells, but which are dividing rapidly. They are growing very fast. They are in abnormal number and in abnormal at sites where they should not be there. And such things are detected as foreign, and the immune system attacks that the cancerous cells and they destroy. You know that cancer is now, it is known that it is strongly associated with the immunity, and with low immunity the person is predisposed to cancer. Now how does this apply to pregnancy? Now pregnancy is also rapidly dividing cells, growing at a very fast rate, though it's not a cancer. Secondly, it is different from mother's body, as I mentioned, immunologically and genetically, but still pregnancy is accepted. Now, how does this happen? So, body has, it is very interesting to know that special mechanisms to find out whether particular cell or particular group of cells is our own or not. So this is decided by something called as the HLA system of our body. Now, what is this HLA? HLA is human leukocyte antigen. So these are the antigens which are present on the cell surface, mainly on leukocytes. They're called as human leukocyte antigen. But each person has a fixed set of these HLA antigens which are coded by HLA genes. Okay, so you can say that this HLA is like our barcode. Okay, so this barcode is same for all our cells. So this barcode is what we represent, and that barcode has to be scanned, right? So whatever comes in our body, it has its barcode. Say pregnancy, say the cancer cells. So the pregnancy has its own barcode. So like father has one barcode, mother has one barcode, pregnancy has one barcode, and the mother's immune system, the scanner of mother's immune system is the natural killer cells or NK cells. So they are the scanners for this barcode. So what happens is when there is pregnancy, this barcode of pregnancy is scanned by the mother's scanner, and that is NK cells. Now let's go a little more into the details. This barcode consists of different types of HLA. I told you. So there are HLAs divided into different types. HLA A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now what do they stand for? They are different antigens. And it's very interesting to know that pregnancy does not have HLA and B. They have HLA-C, HLA and G and E, those are there, but HLA and B are not there, but they are present in all other body cells. So, when the pregnancy comes in contact with the mother or the lining of the uterus, the interaction happens between these cells, which of the baby, which has a particular barcode, and the scanner of the mother, that is the NK cells. Now, these NK cells, this scanner will scan it and see whether a particular type of barcode is our own or not. So this is decided by the different types of HLAs. So this till this it is clear. Now, as we go deeper, things get more complicated because HLA and B are not there on pregnancy, so they are out. So, next is the HLA-C. So, HLA-C has been investigated or researched more compared to others, and it has been found out that certain type of HLA-C, if they are present, then the scanner, they are offensive to scanner. The scanner doesn't allow them and sort of doesn't accept that pregnancy and sends a signal that that should get rejected. Okay, so this is generally what can happen if certain type of HLA-C are present. Now, the, as we go deeper, as we got to know more about this interaction, it was realized that this is not a one-way dialogue. It's not a one-way thing. This is a two-way dialogue between the mother and the pregnancy, between the natural killer cells and the HLA or the barcode scanner and the barcode. So it's not that just the scanner is scanning the barcode, the barcode is also sending signals to the scanner to alter the scanner response. So therefore, now things have gone beyond HLA-C. There is HLA-G, HLA-E, which are under research now, and it is now known. Research has shown that HLA-G plays a very important protective role for pregnancy. So even if certain type of HLA-C are not the right one, right kind, HLA-G signals help to alter the response of the scanner, and that pregnancy gets accepted. So basically, im- uh, immunology and genetics, they go hand in hand, but you will always you have to always remember that genetics is always predictive. So genetics will predict what problems can occur. For example, A gene that predicts breast cancer will predict that this woman has a chance of getting breast cancer. That doesn't mean 100% this woman is going to develop breast cancer in her life. And like Angelina Jolie, everyone has to undergo mastectomy. No. So using genetics to know the prediction is important, but that is not the end of it. Because genetics will tell what is likely to happen when particular situation is there. In our case, like certain type of natural killer cells and the certain type of HLA pattern. But this one thing is, this is dynamic, there is a dialogue. But second thing is, if this interaction has to happen through certain mechanisms. See, genes can't direct produce miscarriage, genes can't direct produce IVF failure, genes can't direct produce infertility. They have to act through certain mechanisms. And how does that happen? This gene interaction happens through three important mechanisms. One is the antigen antibody reaction, second is through the immune cells, and third is immune chemicals or cytokines. So, whatever this mismatch or acceptance, non acceptance that can happen or may happen has to go through these three mechanisms. So, if we investigate further, if we just rely on genes, then that we may not get the correct answer. And we have seen that clinically many a times. Some of these patients have been told that they will never conceive or they will always miscarry because they have certain type of HLA. They have not only conceived naturally, but the pregnancy has gone till term. So yes, there were more chances. And if we leave them as it is without doing any treatment, definitely they may face problem. But we are not going to leave them at that. These genetic testings are going to make us alert ki, oh, it is going to be, there is going to be a problem. And what is the problem? To find out that, we'll require tests related to these three factors which I mentioned, related to antigen antibody, related to the immune cells, and related to the cytokines. So therefore, even when genetic tests, immunogenetic tests are done, we will require tests to find out whether the immune cells are in proper proportion or there are excessive destructive cells or Th1 cells, protective antibodies are present or not present, destructive cytokines or the inflammatory cytokines are high or they are normal. So estimation of these three things is important, because these three tests will only tell what action we can take. Whatever is the scanner or whatever is the barcode, it doesn't matter. If it will matter if you don't do any treatment. But if you are doing treatment, whatever may be the scanner and the barcode, we always have chance that the pregnancy, we can prevent the miscarriage, we can prevent the IVF failure. So therefore, when we do tests related to antibodies, if the protective antibodies are not present, we can give a treatment to induce these antibodies. And if these antibodies are induced even when the barcode and the scanner are saying, oh, they don't match, but we have those protective antibodies to protect the pregnancy. If we estimate the cells, immune cells, and if they show abnormal pattern or imbalance, correcting these things will definitely save the pregnancy. If the destructive chemical is raised, giving medications or giving therapy which will help in bringing it down or making the balance proper will help protect the pregnancy. So therefore, just doing immunogenetics tests and worrying about it will not solve the problem. So therefore, action has to be taken depending on these three factors. And what action? To correct the antibody problem or related to lack of antibodies, active immunomodulation using lymphocyte immunization therapy will work in such cases, because using lymphocytes to induce protective antibodies helps to create the environment for as like natural protection of pregnancy, preventing miscarriage or IVF failure. And this is can be complemented by medications that will bring the inflammatory activity down, inflammatory cells down, or inflammatory cytokines down, and then the chances of success are really high. So, in conclusion, what I want to say is the problem of unexplained miscarriages, IVF failures, or infertility is real. It is explainable, and that is through the immunology. That is first. Now, second, we to confirm this problem, we do certain investigations, which a certain type of investigations include the immunogenetic investigations. These investigations are correct. They will tell us what is happening at the level of genetic, but that doesn't solve the problem. Okay, we have to solve the problem by correcting the problem that is created by the genetic imbalance. So therefore, body does its work of scanning the barcode, deciding whether it is your own or not, and accordingly body starts taking action, and then it is our role to take action to prevent what is harmful, and thus preventing pregnancy. Because if we don't do anything, certain pregnancies are going to miscarry because we haven't corrected the immunological imbalance, we haven't corrected the lack of antibodies, we haven't corrected the abnormal cells. But what I want to tell in this particular video is that immunogenetic investigation reports are complicated. Patients difficult to it is difficult for them to understand, and it is therefore should be interpreted in the right way by right person, so that patients are not scared, or patients don't get frightened that they will never conceive. Because the science is always right, but it has to be seen in the right perspective, and I'm sure we will have solution for all these problems through right means. Thank you very much for listening to this video, and if you have any queries related to the immunological part of miscarriages, IVF failures, or unexplained infertility, please feel free to contact us. Our helpline number is 9833201522. You can reach our website and contact us on www.icprm.in, and through website also you can communicate with us. And I am sure that all those patients who have unexplained reproductive failures, please share at least one such couple this video, and I am very sure that you will change the life of that couple for sure. Thank you so much.